Okay, got some more figuring out then. Um, edit the edit these two, the cornice returns, and make the slope 7 and 12 going back into the roof here. That will pull it down to the bottom of that subfascia. Then you'll have to adjust your roof height, your roof level offset. Mine came out to be -5 inches. That got it lined up correctly, back with the existing roof on both sides. Your number may be different. Depends on your whole situation. But all you got to do is go to an elevation view, see the differences right here, and measure that measure the difference in the two roof corners, um, and then adjust your roof. Okay, and then join it back in. I was able to mirror this subfascia over, or not the subfascia. I just did add a segment to it. I was able to mirror the soffit to the opposite side. And the subfascia, when you put them in, you'll want to adjust the miter on the ends to a horizontal cut, and that gets it hidden pretty well. And then, man, that's looking pretty snazzy. I've got that fascia turned off there, so that's got that part of the house looking pretty good. Um, okay, and so we'll keep working. We've got another. Dang it! What happened to my roof? I'm supposed to have another gable right here. What happened to my gable? Ah! Okay, so I got to edit my roof. I'm supposed to have a gable right here. So, because there'll be a cornice return over here, uh, a return on this corner, and then one on both of these. And then the back is different. So I will deal with the back in another segment of the video. So geez, I got to go fix my roof now. All right, check you later. Well, now that was embarrassing, wasn't it? Okay, to fix it, what I did is I drew another roof. As you can see, this one here, I drew it on top of the existing roof at the second ceiling level in the plan. Same overhangs on the left and the right side, and aligned it with the front edge of the existing roof here. I had to do an offset here based on the roof height, and then it still didn't line up over here, so I had to measure and then come up with an offset in the plan view here. So that particular line right there has a plate offset in addition to the roof offset. Okay, and so that fixed the roof part. So now we will try some roof join. Um, I guess I could have just brought it down to that one. Let's let's just try it. Roof cannot be joined. Okay, I will have to. Oh, it's this edge down here. Okay, let me play some more. I'll be back. Okay, I think we got it now. What I ended up doing is a roof by extrusion. And so I took my fascia off right here, and I did a roof by extrusion and put the sketch on the edge of the roof here, and picked the geometry of, the edge of the roof out here coming up. I did it, probably did it in the 3D view, but I picked this edge of the roof here as one line. I picked this edge of the roof, and then I filleted them together and then trimmed it off here. I had to change my extrusion depth to pull it back in because we're only supposed to be 8 inches off the finished wall on the gable walls, and then I extruded it like 2 feet back. Okay, it won't do a roof join because of all the other things going on in here. So I just drug the extrusion back that far, and now I'll do the vertical hole cut thingy to get rid of the roof, and then I'll be able to edit the profile of this wall and pull this wall on up in there. And then I can go back to doing fascia and cornice returns. What fun! But yeah, I don't know. You may run into that. If not on this project, at some point in the future, you will. So there you go. Okay, I wanted to. We covered the cornice returns on the front, with the exception of the horizontal sill board, the way it returns on the gables, and we covered those up there. But here they come in. What you will have to do is you can do a subsill down here using the fascia command. Subsill, duh. You can use the fascia command to create this one. You just have to check your distances for your offsets. This one, yeah, you could do it off of this little cornice return roof because that's an actual roof. I did an extrusion, component, modeled it in place, extruded it, but you could do it off of this roof, and I'm going to try that on the next ones that I have to do. And then, okay, but what I wanted to talk about was in the back of the building, we've got a little bit different. We've got these boxed in cornices, and I think we did these in the last class. I'm not sure. Basically, what I did is I did an extrusion. I chose the fascia as my plane that I was going to sketch on. And then I extruded, well, first I put this in as an extrusion. Okay, and I chose the end of the fascia against the wall as my sketch plane, and I sketched it out. I made it 6 inches long, so it means it comes in 5 1/4 from the end of the wall. That looks about like what size it is on the drawings. It's kind of hard to tell. So I just chose 6 inches, and I sketched that and extruded it. It's 3/4 of an inch thick, 5 1/2 inches tall. Then I sketched this little triangle piece as an extrusion on the surface plane of the fascia. I picked this line, picked this line, picked this line, and then trimmed them all together to get it to line up with this, pretty much so. And then what you can do is you can select that fascia board and grab the handle and kind of drag it until it meets with that surface. Okay. All right. And then inside each of those is going to be a little vertical piece right here, and that will best be done in a section view. And let me see if I got one. We can do it in this one. And some of these things you can copy. I've been able to copy some of them, but a lot of them have ended up in strange places. Okay, now this thing will be made out of plywood, the same material as the soffit. And I'm just gonna put it flush with these two. So I'll do a component, model it in place, and I'm gonna set my work plane. Come on, it won't do it here. Okay, so let me go back to my 3D view where I can pick a plane. And I'm gonna sketch it on the end of that. And I was in section 13. What? No, I wasn't in section 13. What was I in? Okay, so let me start over. section 7. Okay, so and it's going to go into the core. And it needs to be a little higher than this little piece here. I'll show you why in a minute. And let's see, I want to go 1/2 inch. All right, so instead of a negative 1/2 inch, positive 1/2 inch. What? Oh, I see. I see what I did. That's extending out beyond, so oh, there. I had stopped that. I had brought that over 3/4 of an inch beyond this. If you make it flush, that's fine, whatever you do. And then you got your soffit underneath there. Technically, this fascia piece would end, would butt up against that. Okay, so I need to edit my sketch so that comes down below the soffit. It needs to come to the bottom of that piece. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. And let me go to my north view. Okay, so that looks good there. All right. So now the reason we brought it up higher than that is because when we do the sloped soffit, it will come down and butt in against this. That'll be a little easier, I think, than trying to do the soffits like we were doing on the front, where we dropped them down against the actual rooftop. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. All right, that's it. Keep chugging along. If you got questions, shoot me an email.